And as the story from Kaduna begins to generate reactions, we ask if indeed the threat from the northern youths is anything to hold on to. And for that, we're being joined on the news by the senator representing Kaduna Central at the National Assembly, Senator Shehu Sani. Thank you for giving us some of your time. Now, this is indeed very worrying. What's your take on this, and why do you think this is happening at this time?
Well, my take on this is that the motley group of people who issued that statement from Kaduna consist of anarchist, nihilist, and ultra-nationalistic forces who have, in most cases, exploit a certain event or issue to make threats. And this is not new. It has been for a very long time that you find these groups coming up to issue such statement. But it is very clear for us to see that they don't in any way represent the views, the interests, and the positions of the people they claim to represent. And it's also very clear that they have an aim. An aim was that to incite other persons against a certain particular ethnic group with the particular aim of undermining our peace, stability, and unity as a nation. And it's also very clear that the positions of people of the North, and in particular Kaduna, we don't in any way subscribe to what they have done.
Now, so you would say to those who will be listening to you or who will be watching you at this point that there's no threat to the country's unity at this point by these statements?
Well, Nigeria is such a nation that has passed through moments of storms, of turbulence, of crisis, and sometimes through tragedy, and it has always come out very strong. We passed through a period of civil war, military coup, civil strife, religious and ethnic violence, and we emerged stronger. I have a strong belief that this is one of several storms we passed through in the past, and we're going to go over it. What we should know is that it is not new in the history of a nation to have things like this happening, and Nigeria is not different from other nations. If you go to Italy, you find a certain section are trying to get out, and then you go to Belgium, the same thing. Quebec from Canada, and a section in China from Tibet, they want to get out of the country. And then you see forces making comments, but at the end of the day, what will keep the nation is the decision which the majority of the people decide on what to do, and that is we strongly decided to remain one and indivisible, and that will be secessionist forces and reactionary forces like the one you have now from Kaduna will in no way undermine the unity of this country, but that is what they will continue to try to do.
Now, do you think there's anything to the timing of this? Both your good self and the Honorable Minister of Information have both said this is not new. So why is this being done now? Why is this coming up again at this point, do you think?
Well, in our journey as a nation, our history has not been a smooth one. And this is one of so many things which we experienced in the past. If you go back to history, you see what happened during the riots and the violence in the north, and what happened in Shagamu in southwest, and also similar attacks in Enugu, Aba, and Onitsha, and other places, and then in Kano, Maiduguri, and Sokoto. You will see that this is not new to us as a country, and I believe that Nigeria is a republic that has come to stay. And there is the cause for worry in the very sense that these are young people. They ought to think differently. They ought to focus on issues that will promote the unity, peace of the country, but this is what we are. As a nation, we have a role to play to stabilize ourselves and stabilize the West African sub-region. And we have a role to play within the continent. So I think what is happening today is not new. But I do not believe that they have the capacity to get this country to such a point of violence or of war. but there is a need to always take an action to stem their activities.
All right, then. Thank you very much for joining us, Senator Sani. Thank you very much.